In this video, let me show you how to get the video file and how to do the analysis of the file to get your data. Okay, so what you want to do is scroll down here, and these are the masses. So A and B are about the same size. C is a small glider. Okay, and I think what I'll do is I'll do one where two equal size gliders kind of run into each other here. So I'll pick this one here, which is A hitting B. This is A hitting B, trial number 3, in case you wanted to know. If you click on that, it should download that. Right, so notice here it's showing me that it's downloaded. That means it went into my download folder. I think on a Chromebook, it's going to ask you to save it in your Google Drive, and that's just fine. Okay, then keep scrolling down, and there's a little link here. So you want to click on that. I'm going to do a command click so that it opens it in another tab. And you'll see there's a key here that lets us use this. And this is, if you're not seeing this when you get there, you're not logged in as your ttscstudents.org email. So just make sure you are. Then I click on this, click there, and it opens this app, right? And the first thing I want to do is I want to choose the file, so I can import the video, or I could whatever. I'm going to choose the file, and then somewhere in my downloads folder, very unhelpfully organized here, is that file that I did, AB3 evidently. So I'm going to open that, and there it is. And if you hit play, you can just sort of watch the video. There it is. It leaves my hand, the two gliders collide. There we go. Let's go back to the beginning there. Okay. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure this window is as big as it can be, and it is now, right? I just slide that thing over. And then I'm going to go in here and click on, see where it says System. And it's going to ask us to do two things. And the first is to set a scale. Now see how there's a meter stick right underneath there? See the meter stick there? We're going to put these on the edge of that meter stick. They kind of expect you to use a meter stick. And we don't have to actually be all that accurate on this, but let's give it the college try here. And then it says, how much is that? Because it's 537 pixels, and we're going to say that it's a meter, right? It defaults to a meter, so we're good. Okay. Then I'm going to click on Origin. It hides that tool. And this lets us, just for fun, lets us do a number of things. Like we can say where 0, 0 is. So 0, 0 will be there. I'm just picking this spot here because I don't really care about where 0, 0 is. But look, see how the air track isn't actually level with, like my camera wasn't level. The air track was level, but the camera wasn't. So what you do, see that where that little X is there? Click on there, move your mouse way over to the right side, and now you can make it so that the x-axis is parallel to that. That's important. There we go. Okay, Cartesian is great. Okay, so we've set the scale, we've told it where the origin is, and more importantly, we've sort of rotated the video a little bit, right? And now what we're going to do is we're going to go down here and tell it that we want to collect a data point every 5 frames. Because if you do it every 1 frame, you'll have like 60 data points or something like that, which, that's too many, right? All right. So now watch this. If I hit this, if I click Add, so see up here it says Add, and then I go forward, forward, forward. You can see it's going forward 5 frames every time I click it. So right now it looks like I've let go of it. See my hand? My hand's on it here. And then my hand has definitely left it here. Right? So let's go back. Let's figure out when my hand leaves it. Probably there, right? Okay. So now what I can do is I can click on this video and I can gather the X and Y coordinates of that cart that's moving, that A cart, okay? So I'm going to take this little crosshairs. Now here's the problem, is that the crosshairs kind of blocks, like if I click on something, Sometimes it blocks it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually see the bottom of that. Like I'm nudging that guy's hand with the bottom of that. I'm going to use the bottom of that as my crosshairs. Okay, and then see this little, the front edge of that? I'm sort of torn. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to point at that little knob there. So pick some object on the cart. You could pick the point of the letter A. It doesn't really matter. You could pick the tail end. You could try to go up against the front. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to be right above that little knob there. See it right there? Okay. And I'm going to click there. Boom. Notice it goes forward, so I'm going to find it again. Click. It doesn't matter if I click on it, because all really I want to know is the X and the X direction here. Moving up and down doesn't really matter. We're going to ignore up and down. So I'm clicking there. The problem with clicking right on that dot, I mean, you could try it both ways, is that it leaves a blue dot on there, and then you can't see the dot. Okay. I'm just carefully clicking on this. My mouse is not cooperating here. All right. Something exciting is about to happen. I'm hitting that other cart now, right? You can see it now. Now suddenly notice that the dots are closer together. This is where it's nice to have a bigger screen than this little laptop. And the question is, how many dots? Try to get as many dots before as you got after the collision. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 dots. I don't know how many I've got now. Did I count them? Let's count the after dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think we're good. We'll just go with that. Although I'm tempted to just keep going until it runs into the end. So much fun to click on it. Okay, you're getting bored. Okay, so if you look over here on the right side, there's a nice data table. Okay, what I can do here, I don't really want the data table. I want to actually look at this graph. So I'm going to make this graph as big as I can, like that. Okay, so do that. And then go over here on the left side. See that little thing there? Okay. Click on that. And what we want to do is we don't want X. Actually, we don't want the Y at all. Okay. And what I want is the X velocity, but not the X. Okay. So click on it. So it just says X velocity. And then we're good. All right. So now you can see this is the velocity before the collision. This is the velocity after the collision, right? And all that little wavy up and down is just, you know, I'm not very good at clicking. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to select these points here. So I'm going to drag across here. Now, don't select any of these guys on the that are where it's changing, okay? Only select the top of this thing. So go like that. Okay, drag that and then click here and say View Statistics. And it will give us some statistics for this. That's a good place for that, right? And then let's grab these down here. Let's look at these statistics. There we go. So those are, this is the before velocity was 0.213, right? You can see there's the mean one, right? And the mean velocity afterwards was 0.112, okay? So that's what you need. Now at this point, just write those down. Just write down, you want to write down the mean, the min, and the max before, the mean, the min and the max after. Okay. You can also do this. I highly recommend it if you're making this in a document, right? You can actually screenshot this. I'm on a Mac, and so I think I did Shift Control Command 4. On a Chromebook, it is, I think it's Shift, and then there's a little screenshot key. It's above the 6. Okay, I'm going to just grab this. Right, and what it does is it puts it on the clipboard, and then you can actually just paste that. If you make a new Google Doc, I can just do a Command V, and it pastes that screenshot, and you got all those numbers. And it's up to you. You don't have to do that. Okay. So again, so just you follow the link, you open it up, you load that file in wherever it is, right? Okay, and then set up your axes and set the scale, and then just carefully click through the dots. Okay. Now let me show you a trick here. One last trick. If you click in the wrong place, right? If you're like, oh no. Okay, that'll screw up your data. So what you do is you go Edit, grab that dot, put it in the trash can. Okay. I don't think there's anything else to show you really. All right, I'm going to stop talking.